Hello, it's me, Zoa, and today is going to be a few things. We need to pay attention to this video because a lot of things are coming more and more, you could say, to light. So I'm going to have to start out here. See, my garden is blooming up for spring, winter, with a lot of chicken scratch. And like, there's the biggest dust storms I've found. There's the even bigger one. And there's something you've noticed here, which I've had there for a while as well, actually. And it is what you think, Slenderman. It's about time I actually talk about this. It is about time. Slendy, of all things. It's real. And that's not to pull the shites up, yes. Because that's just got the creepy pastas portray him in a scary way. So I just want to sort out a few misconceptions. First of all, we'll have a look at this crop circle.
Mysteriously appears in a crop formation in the middle of a wheat field.
Yep. My last video, not the very last one, but one of my previous videos, has me show you this. So I'm going to grab it again. Just put a couple of things to one side out of the way. And grab this shower. Right, now this crop circle here, you can clearly see what looks like this PS2 video game case. So, that's an alien grey, that is my eye for Jat. And if you look at this crop circle as well, it looks like that eye is done a bit like the Egyptian eye for the eye for Jat. Same shading on the head, the left eye is obscured. And of course, he's holding a disc, and he is holding a disc. Area 51 is, and it's about, well, Area 51. In this game, upon thinking about this more since my last video involving this, you actually go against a flood infection, a bit like the Xenomorph, a parasitic form taking over aliens. Well then, there's something else to do with that disc as well, not just showing that it's this. It's what's written on the disc, and it's this.
The image was found to contain binary code, a series of ones and zeros currently used to write computer
I did say last video I was going to come out music as well, like a DJ deck. This is actually the same logo as the UN logo, the World Leader logos, the WHO logo, the World Health Organization logo. If I put that on top, you can see it a bit better. And what Earth, a map of Earth if it was flat. And this is referring to, right now, the end times. Beware of the bearer's false gift. Like I mentioned last episode, the Resident Evil. Remember, I totally called it becoming a pandemic, not just an epidemic, and more I've been talking about as T-virus, the end time virus, so 2 years before coronavirus came out and stuff like that. So beware of false gifts such as, I don't know, vaccines and stuff like that, and broken promises with the government. Much pain but still time. Well, there's good out there. Reinforced deception. Conduit closing. Well, conduit closing just basically saying God out. Or that's me finished what I'm saying. As the conduit for God. Alright, so here we lead on to this today. There's been a lot talking about the harlot, the great harlot, and stuff like that. So now we have this episode about Doomsday prophecies talks about Nostradamus' prophecies, talks about prophecies in the Bible, talks about the Mayan long count calendar's prophecies. You know when the Mayan long count ended in 2012? 21st December 2012. And if you've been watching my more recent videos, on the 21st December 2020, there was a first day of a winter solstice and another eclipse of the sun. It was the Sun, Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto, completing the Rainbow Eclipse, which I've mentioned resulted in the Rainbow Bridge. And also, this Tesseract jar, this 4D object in a 3D environment. Remember, that is the nuclear biohazard symbol. Because it warns of it, it's the Christmas tree. I'm not going to go into more detail about the composer, the One Piece, because that's been said. That's for the previous videos. And now this on today, following on to it, is Steve Flourish here.
For Zestify's music collection.
Take it from Z. Now this guy crops up. The spirit of Charlemagne. So, Steve is pointing out this guy we've never heard of before.
That his religion guides his politics.
I mentioned in the past Friedrich Merz is the one to be keeping an eye on, but I think he could be as well, because now we are going back to Slenderman. And this is why. Right. Now then, you've seen the crop circle I've shown you in the past, with this Spear of Destiny at the Cornac Stones of Brittany, France, a bit like the crop circle we've had today. And on that, right? It turned out there's two Spears of Destiny, and if you cross them together, too many people use the two spears against each other to spill blood. And now, combined properly, you get the halo ring with the cross. It connects you to God. And of course you put that in the sword of a stone. One is Excalibur, the other is the sword Arthur drew from a stone, for example. In Halo Legends, the duel, the metal sword that Hawkeye uses and the energy sword that Thal uses even, the Arbiter, are meant to be used with, not against each other. Now then, we're going to look at this. It's the Skull and Crossbones. It's the Skull and Crossbones. In every sense of the word, because some people use swords to cross the bones. So there's the Skull and Crossbones. Also, but more importantly is this little number. The circle with the cross in it. Because that is prominently featured as Slenderman's logo. The same emblem. And I've been watching some of the series, and we talk about getting to the Ark. Okay, that's the Ark. It could be talking about Zoar's Ark. It could be talking about Noah's Ark. It could be talking about the Ark of the Covenant. Could be talking about God's Ark in general. You see? Now, Slenderman, right. Now, with the